Howdy, friends. We're back for another episode of A Little R&R. I'm Regan, and this is Brooke, and we are going to do another review this time. We're skipping a whole recap because it's just not relevant right now. We are going to go straight into this review because we felt it was super, in the moment, and we're really excited.
I can't even stand it. I'm so excited.
We are reviewing Post Malone's new country album, F1 Trillion. It came out on Friday, which was what, the 16th?
Uh-huh.
Is that the right
well,
date?
yes. Yes. I'm a little confused on that because it said that the second, the extra 9 songs for Long Bed was released that morning, Friday morning. But then I was like, okay, well, when was
the rest of it? No.
The actual one released?
I think it was all released, the main album was released on that, at midnight, and then the rest of it kind of came out later.
Oh, Friday. Okay.
I think is how that worked. Because, I didn't know that there was going to be an extra 9 songs. I literally just saw the main album, was like, oh my gosh, great. Sent it to you so you could listen to it like I was listening to it. And then
I don't even know how I found those extras because I was like,
I don't
okay,
either.
wait.
Yeah, you
said, wait, did you do these?
Where are these? What are these songs? And I was like, what are you talking about? So, yeah, surprise extra 9 songs. But, I mean, oh my gosh.
Worth it.
Great all around. But I know that you were a little skeptical when we first talked about this. I don't know. We talked about it one of our first few episodes, and I had said that he was in my news feed, really prevalent. Every other post I saw was something about him releasing a country album, and I told you that, and you were just like, "Oh gosh, what? I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it." Da da da. So I think you've had a little bit of a change of heart, huh?
A little bit, a lot of it. Also to be fair, that was fresh off of Cowboy Carter, Beyonce album that we were not fans of. So,
Beat Like a Dead Horse. We were dogging on that for a while because it was terrible.
Oh, that was just awful.
We thought it was going to be a repeat of that.
Yes, I was thinking, oh my gosh, here we go. And now this crazy, scary rapper guy is going to come in here and hoe down, throw down, I think is what I said or something.
Right. Oh my gosh. But I keep seeing all these videos come up of him talking to the artist that he collaborated with, and you can just tell he is having the time of his life. He is so much fun, and he's so nice. I feel like I could be best friends with him.
Yes, and I was going to tell you this because of he had his Grand Ole Opry debut on Wednesday, August 14th, and he was introduced by Brad Paisley. Mm-hmm. And so whenever he came out and he was kind of talking with Brad there for a second, and he was basically dude, this is so crazy. I went to your concert when I was 6. I just am so grateful and beyond humbled that you are out here introducing me and bringing me onto the stage and welcoming me. And then they sang I wrote it down. So well, let me back up for a second because I wanted to talk about his outfit first.
Yes, I saw something that
he looked really good.
He looked great, and I think he quoted himself saying he wanted to look like it was a dime store George Strait or something like that, or a knockoff George Strait, and I was dying. I was like, but he looked so good. He looked the part, and he looked great. So I was impressed. I just thought that was so funny though.
Yes, he was in a kind of a light blue. Almost to me, I felt like a baby blue, here, welcome to our world. As a baby, country music with the blazer and the white button-down shirt with the jeans and the cowboy boots, the bucket hat,
I think, right?
Oh, I think so. But then he had the white
cowboy hat.
What's a 10-gallon cowboy hat, by the way? I think that was a 10-gallon one.
I have no Stetson. I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, we're not super country, but we're country music country.
I know. But yeah,
we're at least super country.
Really good.
Yes, yeah. And what's crazy is that I almost didn't even notice his teeth in that. I never once was isn't that crazy? How all the other times we are drawn to his mouth and his face, but I just now thought of that. Oh my gosh, I didn't even mention or think about he looks his teeth, he looks like a hard cowboy. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe not a hard cowboy.
A rapper in disguise.
a bad boy cowboy.
There you go.
An outlaw. But so Brad Paisley introduced him. Then he first starts off with Vince Gill, and they sang One More Last Chance. And then he brings out John Michael Montgomery. And he Be My Baby Tonight. Yes.
I've seen clips of it definitely on TikTok and stuff and Facebook, and I was like, oh, that's just so good. Post Malone's voice
Yes.
could just do all the things. Like, I don't know. His voice is great.
I know. And he was like, well, first I was like, wait, John Michael Montgomery, like, this guy's still alive? What the
He's not that old.
hell? I haven't.
He's
But
just
I
been
haven't
around
heard
since
from
we've been
him or
born.
anything. I know, but like I haven't like heard or like, and like him and Vince Gill kind of only do the Opry things, I think.
Yeah. I don't think they do a whole lot of like stuff in public anymore. It doesn't seem.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
And
they're
then,
very much
of
not in the
course-
limelight.
Yeah. And then of course we transition into somebody who is all up in that limelight, Miss Lainey Wilson, with
Yes.
their collaborative track that they do on his F1 Trillion album, Nosedive. There was a funny little blurb in a People article that I read, like People magazine, and where right before or like either as they're like she's coming on stage something, he like admits to her that he bought this photo of her off Morrison Gallery, and
oh my gosh,
she kind of like laughs and is like, "What in the world? Like what?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, it's you're." Like a badass. It's like he's a fan. Like he's like still a fan of like the country music. And so then she responds back with like, Mel, I need to get one of you as well then to like return the favor. Just no feet pics. Like upon his request. Like because apparently he had said he was gonna give her feet pics or something, like being funny. I'm like, oh my gosh. He is so hilarious. I can't like he's almost like the white country Steve Urkel.
Yes. Yeah, he's just very
like personality wise.
Yes, just goofy. And he doesn't look like he would be goofy.
And like just loves life. Like I don't know.
Yes, he's just I'm telling you, if you've seen the videos of him dancing at his own concerts, that's why everybody says Post Malone has more fun at his own concerts than everybody else. Because he is having the time of his life.
I mean, speaking of videos, though, I literally swear that he recorded these with his cell phone. I don't even know because I was laughing so hard when I was watching, because when I switched to my computer instead of listening on my phone, then it was like a whole different Google search thing. I don't have Apple computer. So, so then I was like watching with it and I was like, dang, this is going to sway my like thoughts of this, but I'm going to try to like not look for the first time. But he literally is just standing there and he like takes this tarp like off this truck with the smash up the F1 Trillion, like the truck, right? The F-150. I think it's an F-150. That's why.
Yeah, it's an older one, but yeah.
And so, and then he's like walking around it, and then he like just kind of like does some like things and like kind of just goofy like gestures and like just like all around this truck. I'm like, this is so hilarious. Like, did he record this on his phone?
Random. Yes.
Yeah, he's like, he does it. He's like, look, I'm not trying to, come in here and take over this world. I'm just trying to join you guys. Whereas, like, he's right. He's letting us, like, open the door for him rather than kicking it in as Beyonce tried to do. And that, I think,
to change the sound of country.
Yes. Yeah.
He's embracing what's already there. And
it's just like his flair.
Yes. Putting his own flair on what's there. That rhymed.
But I did just want to very quickly give just like a little brief like background on him.
If you can find
there we go. Yeah, sorry, I was like, here it is. Okay, so he is 29 years old.
Yep.
His birthday is July 4th, 1995. That right there, like whenever I think I knew that, but then like whenever after I was listening to this, I was like, oh my gosh. Of course his birthday is July 4th. Like the biggest party day, loves America. He was originally born in Syracuse, New York, but was raised in Texas.
Yes. Yep. I looked that up too, because he apparently is engaged and has a daughter. Yes, that was
on my list too. Yeah, 2-year-old daughter now.
Yes, and he's very secretive about who his fiance is and his daughter. He has her initials tattooed on his forehead, and it's DDP.
Yes, the daughter, right?
Name. Yes, we obviously know the last name is Post, so DD is the first name and middle name. But yeah, so I did try to do some snooping, but obviously couldn't find
of course it's not anywhere. And then so space tattoos though, so he and I'm sure that like his fans probably know this, but this was kind of new to me, and it actually kind of like ties in with my initial reaction because of course like I'm feeling bad, but at the time like I didn't know, and I don't know what I don't know. Yeah.
Right. And you didn't have a reason to look into any of this because you didn't know that you were going to be a fan.
Right.
Now you're converted. You're a fan.
I am converted. I am full. I've gone postal.
Full posty.
Posty. Or yeah, that's what it's called. Posty.
Posty.
Shoot, I was doing the Kenny Chesney Coastal song. But they used to say that back in the day, like if you've gone postal, that means like you've gone like crazy.
Yes. Yep.
So the face tattoos because he's insecure about his looks, and those helped cover that up and build his confidence back up.
Okay.
His career was first launched when he published White Iverson in 2015. He chose Post Malone as his stage name.
I love this.
At 14 or 15 because he wanted to use his last name, but then use a rap name generator.
Yes. So he put his name in there and it came up with it. So I think that is so funny. And it doesn't sound weird or bad or anything like that. It's so funny that was the way.
It's funny because he's such the white guy rapper, like from Texas. Like that's so what like a country wannabe rapper would do, right?
Exactly.
His full name is Austin Richard Post.
Okay.
I didn't like once I saw that I was like, okay, I can kind of see that.
Yeah. But and I think his dad's name is Richard, I think.
Yes, it is.
If I remember correctly. So that name makes sense.
Yes, yeah. And then so earlier this year, he was like I kind of just did like a brief like of awards, number ones, like kind of things, like a breakdown to where he got to this point. So he recently just did I am gonna say this Fortnite with Taylor Swift. That went number one. Levi's Jeans with Beyonce from Cowboy Carter. I did actually like that song, though.
I say that one I didn't hate. It was one of my ones that I could tolerate if I wanted to.
Yes.
And I think I did actually add it to my playlist because it wasn't as bad.
Yeah, I added that one in Texas Hold'em.
Yep, I think that's how I am too.
He's charted 80 songs on the Hot 100 list, 6 of those being number ones on the Billboard 200. All 5 of his albums have charted in the top 5. And with 2 of those having number ones, Beer Bongs and Bentleys, and Hollywood's Bleeding. Yeah, sorry. I was like, wait, what did I write there? Building, Bleeding. And then he has released an album every year since 2022. So the 2022 was 12 Karat Toothache, 2023 Austin, and then this year F1 Trillion.
Okay. And I know this one actually it went gold before it even was released because of how many pre-sales there were. So
the F1 Trillion?
Yes. And I believe that I want to say gold is 500,000. I think is how many you have to sell to hit that
platinum is $1 million.
I think so. I just know it hit gold before it actually was released. So before August 16th, it hit gold with how many pre-sales it had. So
holy crap,
this thing was going to be huge.
Well, you want to know why? Because he was this is part of in here next, he was in Nashville with his big rig F1 Trillion on the side, like in the streets on Broadway, like with the people. Yes. And that is what I wanted to talk about, like where I was going to wind us back up to go into his album, was that like he literally has done so many things to like be like he did it the right way, like respectfully invited into the country music world. He performed at Nashville's famous Bluebird Cafe with Lainey Wilson. He's done guest heavy country covers set at Stagecoach this summer. Joined headliner Morgan Wallen for a live debut of Hot 100 hit I Had Some Help, which is the lead single for F1 Trillion. Mm-hmm. And the Grand Ole Opry Wednesday, August 14th. So like he literally has just everything he did, the way he went about it, the people he had, the heavy hitters on deck, like on the album, and that only 3 songs were just solo tracks on there out of the first 1 through 27 or 8. I just couldn't
1 through 18, I think. It's just
1 through 18. I'm sorry.
The main part. Yeah, there was only a few solo songs, which again, fantastic. And then his other ones that he released, those 9 that were all solo, were awesome as well.
Yes. So he said that the 3 songs, and like the way that he did this album was a direct reflection of his position as an ever-featured artist on other people's songs in the country music world. And it was his, I'm going to say this word wrong, penchant for constant collaboration. So that like it was like his foot in the door so that they could always collaborate from here on. Like he wanted to be in and stay in kind of a thing, I think.
Yeah. And I feel like everybody that he collaborated with said just everything was positive. There was never a negative comment about writing with him or an experience with him or anything like that. They were just like, we had great time. You would think I thought we would have had 20 minutes pass, but really it's been 3 hours. And, everything was just, it was all positive. It was all good.
Yeah. And because I guess and we kind of know this too, being that we're the same age as Post Malone right now. But it says in the South, but I feel like anywhere, listeners of certain age grew up on both country and rap. And so he had a seamless pivot into the latter is like the most immediate, clear-cut example of that. Right? Yeah. So that's like, it just is all over this album.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Crazy.
So, okay, so do you want to, I think that I had you do this as well, but I wanted us to just kind of go down like the list of like the songs, and I often do this with new albums, and I'm such a nerd and I know it, but like of people that I really like, just because like it makes me more familiar with the songs or helps me weed out the ones that I want on my playlist or not.
Yeah.
Is I do a 2020 SOS. So that means I listen to 20 seconds in, like I listen to the first 20 seconds, and I decide if I'm going to skip or stay and listen to the whole thing. And then I like go from there. Now, I have been burned by this before, but I don't think I was this time. I think I did really good, but I didn't know. Did you do this one?
So I didn't, but I made a comment on my notes whenever I was writing out kind of what I wanted to talk about. And I just think it's funny how we judge songs differently. Because, I mean, we talked on the phone about this. So for me, I will put the playlist on, or just the album on, and listen through the whole way, for the most part, the whole way through one time, just to get a feel for it. And I listen mostly to the music, because if it's the tune and the music, if it doesn't catch me right away, I have a hard time paying attention to the rest of it. But I also give it a chance all the way through. So regardless of if I love it right off the bat, I'm still going to listen to the whole song.
Or if you hate it, you're going to still listen.
Exactly. If it doesn't, I give it one chance the entire way through, because maybe I'm just not in the right mindset type thing. So I'll listen to it all the way through, but I'm listening more for the tune first. But then whenever I listen more, that's when I start listening to the lyrics and everything like that, and seeing if I can relate to it, if it resonates with me, whatever. That's when I start to really kind of critique it. I say critique, but more or less if I can start singing along to it. That's not really a critique. It's just me.
And also, like, who's listening to our critiques? Well, they are now, maybe. But
right. So, but yeah, the first time through, I'm literally just like, I'm listening to it, seeing if what I like. Then I usually, in like this album, right away, I was like, nope, I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be on repeat. I already know. Like, there is no doubting that this is gonna be a good album. So it's been just on repeat when I'm in the car forever now.
So, and then I do it differently, right? Because
do. Yeah,
so here, I'll tell you what I. So I like literally I will play it, and I have to say this too. Like if right off the bat it sounds like every other country song, or like sounds like whatever's current on the radio, I kind of will be like, like, you know, I'm looking for something like, you know what I mean?
Right, something different.
So I do kind of do the music thing, but really, usually within those first 20 seconds, they started singing, and I can like tell or not, like based off of like how they sound with that, if I'm gonna like be feeling it, because a lot of times the voice maybe brings a different perspective of the tune and the beat that wouldn't be there if it was just the background music.
Right.
You know?
So yeah, and I thought about this later. I don't know if I actually said it on the phone with you or not, but I feel like because you've had like music lessons and vocal lessons and like actually gone through like a formal training with that kind of stuff, you pick up on different things than I do. I just sing for the hell of it. I have.
You're a shower car singer.
Yes, and I mean, obviously we've done church choir and all that stuff, but I've never done any type of formal training because I have no desire to be in front of people when I sing, unless it's karaoke, and I've had a drink or two. So.
So we are going to make this happen.
I mean, okay, I don't necessarily need the drinks to be able to do karaoke. I just need to have the words in front of me. I may know the words by heart when I'm in the car, but when I get eyeballs staring at me, that's when I'm like, oh, nope, don't know those words. I've known this song for 20 years, but nope, don't know those words anymore because people are looking at me. So
I know. Yeah. Then it's just like, oh crap, I better not mess up because they're gonna know if I mess up. Like,
I can't start the song over like I can in the car when I mess up and want to do it perfectly all the way through. So yeah, but I feel like that's part of the reason we listen differently, because you have had the formal training.
I didn't even think about that.
Nope, and I'm gonna listen on my own and make up my own things as I go.
Yes, I did not even think about that. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So okay, so I'll just go through this quickly because then since it was just me, well, wait, first I'm gonna give you first my title favorite because I went through and did that, and like I always go through and look at the list first, and then I decide which one I think is gonna be my favorite based on just the title. Okay, so I did this for the last, like for the long bed songs.
For the whole entire thing.
Well, because I had already listened to the others at this point whenever I was like, crap, I was confused now and I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking, but
you're good.
So initially I think I chose for the original one, I had chose Finer Things.
Okay.
And then for the long bed extra songs, I chose Ain't How It Ends. Because I was thinking, okay, this will be like, it ain't how it ends, but it's how it begins. Or this can't be how it ends. There's got to be more type of a redemption, overcoming something message.
Sure, I got you.
Did you have a favorite?
Oh, girl, I have
that you list. Before that, like the one that before you listened, favorite.
I didn't look at all the track titles before I listened. I literally saw it was available, hit add to playlist, and start. And then just listen. I did not look at any of the titles unless I was like, oh, I really like this one. And then looked at the title. I did not pay attention to the titles of the tracks or who it was with. I just listened.
Okay. So I might just shorten this for us really quickly because let's be real. There was only like 4 or 5 that I put like a skip next to. Yeah. The first one was I Had Some Help with Morgan Wallen because I had a bad experience with this one. Reagan sent this to me way back when it first came out.
Yes, because I wanted you to listen to it because it was so good. I love that. I still love that song. I can't get over it. I love it. But you got it stuck on repeat.
Every time I would get in my car, that's the only thing that I could get to play. And I could not play my podcast. I couldn't play anything else. Like it was like I was just literally like a broken record on this song, like for like a week straight. And I was like, I think I'm gonna murder somebody if I hear this song again.
What the hell is happening with this?
Yes.
That's funny.
But I do have a question about that really quickly. Side note. Yeah. When you sent that to me, did you think when you sent it to me, did you send it to me because of the part where it said, I can't do this so all by myself? Like, did you think it was like about friends? What did you think that song was about when you first sent it to me? Or did you just send it because you liked it?
I just sent it because I liked it. And it was like I had heard, they kept teasing it on TikTok, just the chorus of the song. And I was just like, man, I want the whole song. I want to listen to the entire thing. Hurry up and release the damn thing. Like, come on. And then when he finally released the whole thing, I listened to it all the way through. I was like, hallelujah. Love the song. Send it to Brooke because she needs to listen to it.
Okay. Because I didn't listen. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like this is a good, like, oh my gosh, a friend one. Like, we're friends. Like, da-da-da. Then I'm listening today and I was like, this is not about friendship. Like, this is saying that, like, they had some help. Like, it takes 2 people in a relationship to break the relationship up.
To screw it up, to have an alcohol problem, all the things.
And I was like, why did Regan send this to me?
No, definitely wasn't. There was no ulterior motive or meaning behind it. I just wanted you to hear the song because I loved it.
Glad I asked.
Well, I was not trying to tell you have a problem.
Okay, good. Well, then I did. So I had some help was a skip. What Don't Belong to Me was a skip because I felt like in the first 20 seconds it was too much like every other country song. Then number 8, Guy for That was a skip because of the talking. Now, I will say this. On the YouTube, like the music video version, there's like talking at the beginning, but on Apple or whatever, there's not.
Gotcha.
So the version with the talking one, I was like, okay, skip this. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, like every country guy like wants to do this when they're trying to do like have it be their hit or something. I felt like, but I would not have skipped the Apple one without the talking.
I got you.
Then I did skip Hey Mercedes initially. Because again, same old, and then 2 Hearts because I could tell it was gonna be like a love sick, same old, like whatever kind of thing I felt. Okay. This
was just your initial reaction off the title, right? Or do you actually listen to this?
Off the first 20 seconds.
Okay.
I just let you know which ones I skipped, and then the rest were all ones that I stayed. So now, so now
you've gone through and listened to all of them still, though, right? Are you?
Oh yes, girl. Yes.
Okay.
No, I still I listen fully. That's just my like initial what I do. And like I said, I'm such a nerd. I don't know why I do that, but it's like I feel like I have to understand where the singer/writer was coming from
Sure.
to be able to fully
enjoy.
support it.
I got
and
you.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Why? I'm that way.
That's funny.
So now, though, I want to hear what your favorites are, or whatever you did. Your favorites.
Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 favorites altogether, and then I have 2 on that list that I liked more for the lyrics.
Okay.
Instead of just the song in general. So I have, and they're in no particular order because there can't be an order.
I know, geez, like
it was just all so good. I was just like, I'm literally not gonna be listening to anything else for who knows how long. Like it's there is no other music at this point. It's this album.
I hope Post Malone knows that. Like, by the way, you cannot escape now. Like,
no,
you're
screwed. You're stuck here.
Your whole hog moment is like you have to whole hog and complete the rest of it. It's a whole life.
That everything. Okay, so I have Guy for That with Luke Combs.
Okay.
I have Gone Without Saying with Brad Paisley.
Okay.
What Don't Belong to Me.
Okay.
And How It Ends.
Mm-hmm.
Back to Texas.
Yes.
I Had Some Help with Morgan Wallen because I just love that song. I'm always gonna love that song. I know you do.
Yes, you are.
And then I have Nosedive with Lainey Wilson and Losers with Jelly Roll.
Yes.
And
okay.
My 2 that I really loved for the lyrics were Nosedive and Losers. Those 2. I feel like Nosedive is very much like you may go through ups and downs, but there's beauty in the nosedive because obviously that's part of the lyrics. But there's, it's kind of like there's always like there's a blessing in disguise for you. It's not always a failure. It's redirection. Like you're just on a different path. You're not failing at what you're doing. You just need to look at it at a different perspective type thing. And I feel like that kind of, it gives you hope, I guess.
That's really interesting.
So.
That is really interesting because I was looking back at mine, kind of trying to remember like when I listened to the full thing. And I put, that like, I love the opening, makes him relatable and connects, drawing us in, and like a hook, line, and sinker.
Sure.
And then I loved the music swell, how it's time warpy, gives off the way we feel inside when falling in love, or just perfectly represents the ever-changing, unexpected traits that come with love and relationships that are like newer or like just that risk that you take.
Yeah.
So I love the way that you went with that too, though. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. To me,
I know it's kind of similar, but
yeah, mine was just life in general. You had more of a relationship or friendship type situation.
Well, yeah, I did relationship. I did do friendship. Yeah.
But for me, like I love that the beauty in the nosedive is almost like to the point where I want to get that tattooed on my body somewhere. I can't. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I have like an idea of a little bird, like doing a nosedive or like a downward facing bird of some sort, but with beauty in the nosedive on there.
Yes, yeah.
I'd have to play with it some more, but like that just resonated with me for some reason. I really like that. So
when you first
now
heard
I've added
Lainey,
more to it.
I know. When you first heard Lainey sing, like would come in and like sing her part, did you not have this like, oh my gosh, this is like the firework spark is happening moment?
I'm telling you, I had chills the entire time listening to this album.
I know.
Like from the start, I was just like, oh, goosebumps, and forever had goosebumps the entire time I listened to it.
I know.
For the whole time, couldn't quit, and yeah, I am a fan. I am in love. I think this album exceeded what I thought it was going to be. Like I had expectations, but it exceeded what I thought was going to happen with it. What did I have written down? Well, yeah, I knew it was going to be good, but it like mind blown.
And like, you can't just like, don't like for instance, I told my parents like, okay, like, have you listened to this? Like, my mom's like, oh yeah, I'm listening right now to the radio. I'm like, no. You need to like, no, not the radio ones. I'm talking the whole album. Like country music fan, listen. Give it the country music fan, listen.
Yes, not the good old college try. The country fan, listen.
Anyway, though, listen, we can't add too much to her plate. She'll never listen to us.
And if she's just as obsessed as she is, or as we are with this this album. She won't listen to anything else. So
I know. So it's like, okay, wait, it's a catch-22. I'm like,
Right.
listen, Post Malone, I love you, but don't you be stealing my mother from me.
hilarious.
Mrs. Steal Your Girl. Okay, so those were your favorites. Okay, awesome.
Yes.
So I think I did kind of like, I remember putting like stars or something by the ones that I really, really loved.
I think I had told you we were gonna pick a top 3, but then there was no way I was picking.
I couldn't do a top 3 either.
There's no way. I don't think I could do a top really any. Those are just the ones that stood out to me the most.
Okay, well,
because they're so good.
Since I didn't really do that, I'm just gonna go down the list and kind of give you like my little one-liner note, and then I'll be like, okay, like, because I think you're gonna see like I had a lot of favorites, so and I know you did too, and then that way we can kind of discuss and like see if we kind of like felt the same from the song.
Yes, go for it.
Okay, so number 1, Wrong Ones, which this starting off like he laid this out. Everything was so methodical and like thought out and so intentional.
Yes.
That it was like my mind was just blown.
Yep.
And I don't mean to say it like this, but like it was almost kind of like, you're kidding me. Like, this guy's a rapper? Like, I don't know. Not that like I don't like rap music or anything in that genre. It's just more like I don't necessarily they've always been kind of like where they're just talking.
Yeah.
Like saying, you know what I mean?
They had a good singing voice coming from.
Yeah, it's like a good singing voice, and then like the creative.
Yeah,
I don't want to say creative because like you can be creative with the lines and like the good rap songs. Like I can think of Nicki Minaj like with a few.
It's true.
I'm not sure if she's like considered a good rapper to the rap community, but just And so I just was like, okay, I love this nitty gritty like bluegrass. Like, oh, it just makes you. I literally was like, okay, Post, like, okay, I'm like, okay, I'm sticking around. I don't know what this is, but like, you're doing great. And then when it ramps up and his rasp happens in his voice, it is just literally like country anthem written all over it.
Yep.
And like you just feel it all over your whole body, like, and that's how the country anthems are because they're relatable. They are, the music gets you, like it's just everything. It's a full package.
Yes, agreed. And I don't know, I'm sure you picked up on it too, but in that song, they reference a couple of Tim McGraw songs. Did you catch that?
I did. That was my next note. And I said the line, I've got fuck you money. And then Tim McGraw comes on with country money and please don't take the girl. I said, he did not just slide that please don't take the girl in there.
Well, and then also it just had the real good man vibes to it. Like it.
Yes.
Baby, I'm a real good man.
Yes.
And you're like,
okay.
Oh, yes.
You're giving me chills because I literally, for each song, I was like, this is crazy how he makes his message be like this person's hit or something that they are really famous for and thought out like that. Like that is what, like, he's almost like a serial album creator.
Yes. And I like that he used the influences from the artist he was working with on that song. I feel like that's kind of, it's a compliment. The imitation is the highest form of compliment.
He was listening to it and he's fans of, and I can't, like.
Yeah, I can't.
I can't even. So then let's go into finer things, unless you had anything else to add about Wrong Ones.
You're good. Go ahead.
Finer things. Oh, in all caps I wrote favorite, like right off the bat. So, but to be fair, I then went to my mom and was like, this song reminds me of you. I did not fully listen to where he's got the diamond ring in the stand or in the deer stand or whatever with the camo and all that. It's really not like about her, no. But she like fancy like, or what's that song called?
Mm-hmm. Fancy like with Walker Hayes.
Fancy. Oh, it is. There's a like at the end. Okay, that one. So and when the wagyu on the platinum on my teeth and the wagyu on my grill, I was like, oh please stop. I was like, stop.
Well, I love that he says my F1 trillion limousine or whatever. I'm like, there's the title. Got it. It's there.
Okay. And I was going to ask, I literally was looking everywhere to figure out how he came up with F1 trillion and what it means, because I was like, what's an F1 trillion? Like, what is that? And I was thinking, okay, is it the truck, like an F1 truck? And then he's just like, that's his name for the truck?
Sure.
Is that what he calls the truck? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I did not look into it any further, but I heard.
Well, you won't find anything if you did. I mean, I freaking searched.
You searched. Well, I just heard that in the lyrics, and I was like, there it is.
Yes,
That's the title. So,
but then
that was about it.
At the beginning, whenever Hank Williams Jr. started singing, I was like, Brooks and Dunn. Nope. He sounds like one of those. I don't know if he's Brooks or Dunn, but he sounds like one of them. That from that, and I like seriously was like, that is Brooks and Dunn. That like I would have bet money that was like one of the Brooks or like Brooks or Dunn. I don't know.
One of them. Hilarious.
With the Ramblin' Man and the Pappy Reserve or whatever is like the old school Pappy Reserve. Isn't that what it's called? Pappy Reserve?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's whiskey.
Okay.
It's a brand. It's like a old old Rip Van Winkle bourbon.
Gotcha.
Rip Van Winkle. Okay. So then we went into I had some help. I said
but you're like promptly skip because I've heard it 6 million times.
I actually did listen. I listened again.
Okay.
And I said, this is when I wrote down, Reagan, what did you think the meaning of the song was?
What did you think the meaning was?
But then I wrote saying had some help as in we didn't get here because of just one person showing both sides or point of views in a relationship. I really liked that.
Yeah.
Then the next song came on and I looked at my phone after, only 30 seconds, like 1, 2, 3 went by of the song. And I was like, son of a bitch, did this switch to Blake Shelton? What is this? And sure enough, it was Blake Shelton. I literally thought that I was like, was that it? Was there only 3 that like I could listen to?
Oh my gosh.
Because it's so Blake Shelton right off the bat.
It is. Yeah. I have been obsessed with that song because I had some help, Pour Me a Drink, and a guy for that. Those 3 songs were released early. And so I have been listening to those just on repeat with the rest of my stuff until the whole album came out.
Which if we could have listened to this before anything hit the radio, I would have said, and I know you would have too, that one's going to be a radio one.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure they play it on the radio already.
They do. That's what my mom was listening to.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Yes.
Yes. So
I still find it funny that they say Post Malone on country radio. Like that, it cracks me up every time I hear them say that. Because you're like, it doesn't seem like it goes together. But oh my gosh, he's embraced it and it works so well.
And it's like, what in the world? Why did you leave Texas? Why did you even go rap? Like, I don't understand. Yeah. You know, like, but I kind of do like respect the journey and like the way that he did go because timing is everything. The same. Right. Timing is everything. The next one, Have the Heart. I wrote, it's Dolly. That's all.
It's Dolly. Did you see the video of him with Dolly though? At all? Have you seen a video with him? Oh my gosh. You're just like, oh my God, I love them so much. Like he was so nice and respectful to her and just like, yes, ma'am. And all that it just makes your heart happy.
Oh my gosh.
And he was you could tell he was just like kind of awestruck with her. And I'm like, who wouldn't be though? Like you would see her and be like, oh my God, it's Dolly Parton. Like, what do you do?
I don't know what to do with my hands. Boobs or face. Boobs or
I don't
face.
know what to do with my hands.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first one he does solo on here, what don't belong to me? Oh, I forgot the word too. That's why I was like, what don't belong to me? I was like, that's not English. I don't know what we're talking about.
What happened there? That's funny.
Okay, so what don't belong to me? I said, wow, the writing on this one showed me a depth I haven't seen / didn't think he would This writing on this one showed me a depth I hadn't seen / didn't think I would, or that I didn't think he would, or could ever have in him.
Yeah.
Like I was just.
Say with his you think with a country artist, you're like, okay, that's where all of his talent is. You don't know, or you don't expect him to have the talent by himself.
Right.
Because all the songs that had been released prior to the whole album were with country artists. They weren't any of his solo stuff. So you're just like, does he carry his own weight? Can he do it by himself type thing?
And with only having 3 on there, I was like, okay, what the heck? This guy's going to stop or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't have it to be by himself type thing. But yeah, he proved that wrong real quick.
Oh, real quick. Real quick. He literally was like, Brooke, where am I? I am coming for you.
Right.
You will not diss the Post Malone name. Yes, sir, Post Malone. So number 7 goes without saying. I love the Whitley reference. Love that he did. Love that he did Goodbye with Brad Paisley because of. I wrote this down. So this song, this is the first one that made me realize, holy crap, he's doing it based off of their hits of the. Well, I'm gonna miss her.
Yep.
When I get home, like that one, the Brad Paisley.
Yeah. Well, Post Malone's cover of that song, just absolutely fantastic. He does. I've seen videos of him like performing in an acoustic version of it. By like, oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
Where can we get all of these? We need all of the things by Post Malone.
Figure out where they're at. I just usually stumble across them on Facebook or TikTok. So I have now just followed Post Malone on everything. So I
same.
Be in the know on all the things. Because
and I'm like, okay, this is literally like, you know how they did like the Make America Great Again, like make Post Malone country forever, like not forever. Again, just forever,
just all the time. He's not allowed to leave. Sorry.
Because I put like he shows he did his research, was very intentional with every single detail. He wanted to have we said that. Then Nosedive, Lainey Wilson. We kind of touched on this one. Oh, I'm sorry, I did skip that, then I had to go back to it. Number 8 next was Guy for that. This is the one that I watched with the video, and I was like, crap, I should not have watched this with the video. Because I was like, this song is hilarious. The video of them in Nashville with the big rig in the street, OMG.
With the porta potties on it.
The porta potties at the beginning, and how they're hilarious. Like in confessional. Like, they're like,
so good.
Everything about it.
Also
then
good.
we went to Nosedive. We kind of already touched on that one.
Yep.
Okay, Losers with Jelly Roll. Mm-hmm. I loved the list of like the stereotypical loser, outcast people at the very beginning. This really struck home for me because I feel like I was very popular in school and like just in general life at work, wherever. But then when I went through like a depression and anxiety period, I kind of was like finding myself and feeling so like on the like I was on the outside of my life looking in.
Yep.
Almost. It was such a weird experience listening to the song because I was like, I would be like, oh, well, that's not really me. And then I was like, well, wait, that's kind of me. Like,
that is me.
And then it's like, like, well, okay, I can relate to that. Or, or so whatever. I just love the background music. Very typical country beat, which I felt like was there to represent, hey, we're all people. Welcome to the same playing field. Yep. Kind of a message.
I loved that one. And I, again, being a fan of Jelly Roll also, that the whole, just them together was great. Like, I was not expecting them to have a song together. And I think that surprised me in and of itself. But then just hearing them together, I was like, whoa, that gives me the warm fuzzies. It was good. I loved it.
And I think that's the most people with face tattoos on one track.
Probably so. I agree.
No judgment, you guys, because I clearly am not allowed to give that feedback anymore because I will be proven wrong. And that's fine. I love that. Like, I love that. But like also too, that's okay. Like, it's okay. Number 11, Devil I've Been.
Ernest. Oh.
Okay, I love this one because I love the music in the beginning. I love that it's a guy anthem moment, and I know a lot of guys mid to late 20s can relate to and will be cranking to 10 in their trucks across America. The settling down wild boys, the realigning priorities, but miss the glory days moment. Like, I just really liked that.
Yeah. And it's very Ernest-esque. Like, I don't know if you've ever listened to Ernest's album that he had, his newly released one. I have not. And you should, because it's very good also. But you can tell, like, if you didn't know that Ernest was on this song, you could tell that he may have written the song with him because it sounds like it belongs to Ernest. Like, it just has that feel to it. So, yeah, I really liked it.
I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss, okay, I just want to make sure because there was like once I got to the teens, I started to notice that at the very beginning in my first 20 seconds, holy crap, this is a different song. Or holy crap, this is somebody else. So I want to make sure I go back to those references.
I got you.
Okay, so then are we on
Never Love You Again?
Okay, Never Love You Again. So I had never heard of this person.
Me either.
That was with him. But whenever I looked her up, then Alison Krauss pulled up.
Okay.
Because I didn't realize that Alison Krauss was so bluegrass. Like, I didn't realize she had a whole thing on that side of country.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But I
think I knew that, but I haven't obviously listened to it. So
yeah, or like if I knew it, I forgot or something.
Right.
So I was like, I love that he was sure to include each and every subgenre of country, whether it be like the rock, the new, the old '90s, folk, bluegrass, whatever. That he chose this vibe for his Not Settling Down song because they are like gypsy souls who never settle down or stay in one place too long.
Perfect.
Missing You Like This.
Another Luke.
Literally,
So good.
it is You Saved Me by Kenny Chesney in the first 20 seconds.
Yep.
The same intro. Like, I was literally like, what in the world? I love the rain falling down in Kansas line because it's semi-close to where we are.
Yep.
So I was
Yep,
like, okay, cool.
too.
Even though we hate Kansas, love it.
It's like, it's close enough. I guess we'll take the reference. It's fine.
Yes. I just love that. Love, sick, old school, one that got away meets country grunge vibe is what I put down, which
sad boy country.
Yeah, which doesn't make you want to skip because it's the same old, but it's like, it's good, like,
yeah.
It's not just the dog died, the truck broke down, my girlfriend left me, like,
Yep.
Which is funny because then on my 20 seconds listening, I put that it reminded me of the Tim McGraw song. And I don't remember which one I thought of, but I'll come back to that. Because I think it's funny that it was Kenny Chesney, and then over there I put Tim McGraw.
Right, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. California Sober, which, by the way, Willie Nelson and Billy Strings have a song titled California Sober as well.
Oh,
and it is not this song, but I was like, oh wait, did they just like redo this or remake this? No, it's not.
Nope.
Love the intro, like and when he starts to sing, the anthem vibes right off, the rock country vibe, of course, because Chris Stapleton. Because and then I said, of course, because Chris Stapleton had to give the guitar breakdown. Could have been shorter. I wish that was shorter.
It does kind of drag a little bit, but it's still good, so it's fine. We'll let it happen.
But did you feel like it was his like, adios, California, I'm kicking off my boots, hanging up my hat, and staying put, like in country moment?
Yep, I like it.
And then I did 15, Hide My Gun. I wrote, of course, the one with Hardy is about hiding a gun or having someone that will hide a body message with you, like having a person to hide the body. I'm like, of course. Hardy, we know you're a badass.
We just get that vibe. He's gonna go back to tell Lainey Wilson to wait in the truck, and that's where they're hiding the gun.
Oh my God, yes. But in Lainey Wilson's heart like a truck. Lainey Wilson's heart like a truck, hiding the gun, waiting in the truck.
Yes, we're coming full circle. We're getting all the trucks connected.
The F1 trillion trucks. F1 trillion trucks.
It's all connected.
What the truck? Okay.
Instead of the duck.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep changing it out. Right About You. I said I love this song. It's kind of like it's kind of like his baptism moment into the country world. It touches on what he used to do, sing and write, and how he's maybe winding and calming down. I feel like he wrote this when he found out that he was gonna be a dad.
Yeah, I can see that. I agree.
Okay. MEXICO. I love the fiddle. I think this is one of my favorites. I think this is one of my favorites because it's hilarious, folky storytelling vibe. It's all about fleeing to Mexico. Like,
seeing no Mexico, seeing no palm trees in my jail cell. I
like
can't
literally,
see from here. I took the blame because there was cocaine in the suitcase or whatever. Oh my gosh, yeah, it was so funny. It's a good one.
If his outfit at the Great Ole Opry had a song, it would be this song.
Yep.
Like, because this is what did you say? Dime
store George Strait, I think is what he said.
Yes.
Or like knock off George Strait, something like that. So funny.
And then number 18, yours, I wrote, OMG, there's going to be F1 trillion brides using this for daddy-daughter dances at weddings from now until forever.
Yep. That one, it will be the wedding song forever.
Yes. Okay, number 16, I'm going to scoot back to real quick. Right About You. Sounds like Dixie Chicks' Run.
Okay.
Yep. Like whatever that part is.
Yep. I got you.
Something about it reminded me of that. Okay. Okay, now we're into the extended, or what is it? What am I trying to say? I almost said extended cab. Long bed.
Close enough. Long bed.
Something to do with the truck,
truck
and the tailgate. Yeah. Fallen in Love. I know, sounds like every other country song, but not in a bad way. Just like we need to hear / see that he could actually do this, honestly. Like we weren't sure that he could. I wasn't. Yeah. So I really liked that he made that first one like that because it, yeah. So I said he nailed the assignment. Was what I wrote down.
He understood the assignment, nailed it. A+.
Dead at the Honky Tonk. First, I love the title.
Yes.
Like I love it. Like it turned into every other sad guy at a bar drinking whiskey.
Yep.
With the whiskey glasses, the whatever you have. Like into an actual like a decent newer version of what that means.
Yep.
It's the 2024 translation of sad guy at a bar.
Yep. Exactly.
Broken-hearted guy at a bar.
There you go.
And I just loved that. And the final note, like even the final note was just so like funeral-esque of like it just really wrapped it and hit it hard.
Yes.
Killed a Man. I said OMG, thought for sure this was The Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I love the message of him making a change to be a better man and how he killed a man last night. Like he woke up and decided he and his daughter deserve so much better than how he was showing up for life.
Yep. Didn't actually kill a man. He just changed his ways to be a better man.
Yes. Yeah.
Like killed the old version.
Right. I know. So, but got our attentions because it said killed a man.
Exactly.
Okay. One of your favorites, Ain't How It Ends.
Oh, so good.
Oh my gosh. Like the second they start singing. Right? Like it's just, I said, woo, the Waylon Willie Jones, I lost it. The way he is describing how country songs do it, but in a way where we are like, damn straight. And like, we're proud,
Yep.
Like, it's just, like, I don't know. It wasn't like offensive at all, but it was like, hell yeah. Like, yes, that is us. And we're representing,
Exactly.
Hey Mercedes, starts out same old, but I loved it. The long note. Hold on. Oh, the long line notes into like the quick, what you doing for the rest of your night? Like, hey, whatever he does. I can't think of the two now.
I can't
think of how he drags that out, and then what you doing for the rest of your night? Like that part, like whatever. I know I just did that wrong.
No, you're fine. I know what you're saying though. Like the mix of the slow or the dragged out.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
Go to Hell. I said perfect twang / slick guy beat and tune. I think I mean like how like it's just so like flows so smooth, like he's Mr. Suave, like he's the drop very low suave in the key with his rasp. Oh my gosh, the flirty personality that comes out. Then I was like, the bridge, totally didn't see this coming, but could have been a touch shorter too.
Yeah.
And I would have liked for him to end with some words at the end, like
not just a guitar solo.
Kind of wrap it back up. Yeah.
Yep. There's a few that were like that. He had a couple like that, and I was just like, I had to keep looking. I'm like, wait, is this a new song starting? Because it dragged a little bit long for like a guitar solo, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah, still good. Oh wait, I forgot Brad Paisley was your like icon. Makes sense.
Yeah, we got it.
Two Hearts. I was waiting for his big like divorce debut song, LOL. He nailed it.
Yeah.
Love the reference to the kids and how they see it with they don't even know how to spell custody line. The instrumental with like the opera feel, I felt signified how intense and emotional / powerful of a hold this puts on the people going through it. Like I was like not expecting that middle. I wrote opera. I don't even know what it actually really sounds like, but to me it came off as like opera vibes.
Yeah, because I feel like it really, you do feel the feels of, you would think divorce is always mad and angry and just everybody's just pissed at each other, but really you don't think about if there is kids involved. If you really like this, you didn't want this to happen. Obviously you don't get into a marriage wanting to be out of it. So it's a sad situation. It's always sad. I mean, it may be for the better, but you go through all the emotions when you do all this.
Right. Like there was just so many different things, and I think he really hit on each one of those.
Yep. I agree.
All right. So 8, Who Needs You?
Yep.
I said, I love the sing-songy swell of this song, like a slow song at a boot scoot and boogie joint, but you're like swirling the girl around the dance floor, like in her boots. Like, I don't know, just like the vibe with the instrumental is everything. The uncomfortable clashes were just like the cherry on top. It was like, ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's uncomfortable, but I kind of like it.
I like this.
Like Post Malone and country. Uncomfortable, but I kind of like it.
I like it. Yes. You get the chills.
Okay, then finally wrapping it up with Back to Texas. In all caps, I wrote, oh, hell yeah. All hat, no cattle line, fave. Hope this is his Honey, I'm Home anthem and that he's finally where he wants to be. And LA was LA, so he's staying country.
Yes. That was great.
Oh, I know we just like broke this whole thing down, but I feel like I could still talk about this forever.
I know. It's so good. Yeah.
But do you have anything else that you want to add? Anything that about Post Malone or anything in general? I know that there was like some articles at the beginning here that I had looked up.
I had screenshotted something that I saw. So it's a post on Facebook from the Country Wire, and it says, "This is what you get when you make a country album based on your love and passion for the genre, not because you are here to take advantage of the hype around country music and then collect some awards and dip. Well done."
And fuck you, Beyonce.
And it said the comments in that were like, Beyonce, like
yes, like do it the right way.
Like, they were like, "Ooh, shots fired at Beyonce." I'm like, yeah, pretty much, because like literally, she just came in trying to collect all these damn awards and really not caring about what she actually sounded like. And I don't know if you've heard this or not. I can't remember what award show's coming up, but she's nominated for the second most awards for this next country music award. No, Zach Bryan is number one, and then Beyonce is right under that.
That's where I feel like they do it based off of like listens, and not like. And I mean, I guess that like, how else would they do it, really? You know,
right?
But like, people had to like almost download it or whatever to listen. So it's like you can't, you know, it's like a catch-22 unless you just looked it up on YouTube, I guess. But people don't really do that nowadays. It's not as easy and fluid.
Yeah. I don't know how. I don't know. I guess it's the people that just like Beyonce themselves and thinking, oh, I'm listening to country music, and just went with it that way. But yeah, I heard that on the radio the other day that she was like the second most nominations for whatever award show's coming up. And I was just like,
puke,
bitch, please. Yeah, I was like, seriously, nobody paid any attention.
Doesn't she have a line in her song that says about staying in her lane or something?
I think so. And she's not listening to that line. She's not taking her own damn advice.
Yes. Oh, the final thing I will say about this album before we sign off, because I literally told this to my parents today because I was trying to like think of a way to describe it to them.
Yeah.
And just like off the wall, top of my head, I was like, you know, it's kind of like if Jelly Roll, Luke Combs, and Morgan Wallen all had like a love child.
Yep.
Like it's just all three of those vibes like stand out really prominent to me.
Yep.
With the following, like Morgan Wallen because of his following, the way that Post Malone has the following of people, and then like Jelly Roll, like just first of all, like their histories and or like the rocky, like kind of not country traditional starts. Yes. And then Luke Combs, because I feel like that's how he wants to be in country.
Yep. So I agree with that completely.
All around, 5 popcorns out of 5 bags of popcorn, 10 out of 10 stars. All the
limit does not exist for me.
Literally.
1,000,000 out of 10 because it's so good.
We went whole hog. We're whole hog for Post Malone now.
Amen.
We're taking his own advice.
Yes.
So
out there collecting country artists like Pokemon cards.
I know. Literally.
I love it.
Like we're all on Apple instead of the Pokemon app. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to us this week. We hope that you continue to listen, that you like, share, follow, subscribe, all the social media things so that we can continue to share our podcast with you each week. And we will be back next week with a new episode. So until then, thanks for tuning in to a little R&R.
Bye.
Bye.